nice restaurant here in Davos, where we're going to be looking back what effectively I think is day one of the World Economic Forum. I have to say this is my first time in the Swiss mountains looking at the WEF, and I don't know, it's been a slightly strange experience, quite novel. And now Isabel, though, in contrast, is a bit of a veteran. This is your 10th? This is your 10th?
Oh, thank you for making me feel so old,
10th
Darren.
So, you know, to me, the big question, I suppose I think about it, is why are we here? Why are the wealthiest, most powerful people in the world here in the middle of January, freezing themselves to death, talking about the world?
Okay, well, one, I actually really enjoyed Davos because I think it is this amazing meeting where world leaders do come and you get amazing access to them, which you would usually as a journalist.
Yeah.
But also, it's interesting because you're also seeing how CEOs interact with those world leaders. So it is very exclusive, and I'm certainly not denying that. But it is this forum where once a year CEOs and world leaders get together and they make a lot of decisions and they try and shape the year ahead. And now that's what Davos says, and Davos also says it's trying to improve the state of the world, and there are a lot of issues that are raised here which I think are very thought-provoking and should be dominating our agenda. They don't necessarily do.
So in terms of like this year, what are the thought-provoking issues? What are we kind of looking at this year? You know, is it global inequality? Is it the global economy? What is it?
That's going to be globalization, the new kind of globalization, more inclusive. That's the idea, and that's the main theme of this year's Davos.
Well, you had an amazing interview today.
Absolutely. Well, I had a couple, I have to say. And I'm a lucky one. I had a couple. Well, I had indeed an interview basically with Oxfam's executive director talking inequality and this increasing gap between rich and poor and how it's getting just worse by the time. And that's incredible. We discussed this a little bit earlier, right? So basically every year we have this report, and they try to do it exactly at the beginning of Davos, of the week of Davos. And the great thing about it, an amazing thing, is that the gap is just getting bigger every single year.
It is, I mean, it's fascinating. What is it? The wealthiest 26% of people in the world are worth the bottom 50%. The 3.8 billion people at the bottom. Now, there is more on this on the Cube, and I know it's disputed and that sort of stuff. But you look at this. This is my badge, by the way. Welcome. This is my conference badge. But even that, Isabel, only gets me so far. This place is so elite.
So, if we're talking about this, my badge is better.
This one's
than
better.
Darren's.
This one's better.
So, my badge allows me into different places, probably different entrances. There's not a great deal of difference.
But isn't this a sign of how elite this place is, that even when you are here, even when you've paid, how much is it to get here?
Oh, well, the price ticket is just absolutely immense. No, so for journalists it's free. Let's just let's get that right. But the initial, so you have to have membership. So the membership ranges from 60,000 Swiss francs to 600,000 Swiss francs. And if you look at the exchange rate, that's pretty much close to the euro. But then on top of that, the price of the ticket is about 27,000 Swiss francs per person. So yes, it is a lot of money to get in, but that is only for the businesses. And if you have a bigger group, you are forced, in some respects, maybe that's not the right word, to bring a woman, because there is such gender inequality.
There is.
Well.
No way.
Last year Davos was entirely co-chaired, female-only right. Davos. That was last year for the first time, indeed. There was a big theme last year. They tried to carry on this year as well, but obviously we're still not there.
But how can Davos claim to be trying to address the issues of the world, talk about inequality, talk about the problems of globalization, when it's so cut off from the actual real world?
Because they are addressing, sorry Sasha, because they're addressing very important issues that do then get picked up by the world's media. Now I'd like to use one example in terms of inclusivity, in terms of disability. Now this is
something we're really focusing this year on.
And it's new. It's a new issue. Now I was chatting to the managing director of the World Economic Forum saying, like 10 years ago we're talking about sustainability. We never thought that this would become an issue that we talk about daily, that we try and integrate in our daily lives. So now we want to do this with disability. We're going hard on it. 1 billion people in the world are disabled, so we really want to bring this to the fore. So I think they can make a difference.
So Sasha, just finally, because we have to go soon, what should we look out for tomorrow? What's the most interesting thing tomorrow?
We've got the big keynote speech. We've got Bolsonaro's speech tomorrow afternoon. That's going to be huge.
President.
A couple of weeks after his inauguration. That's going to be really big tomorrow to watch.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, because the whole point is that we're seeing this massive divide between the populists and also those who are very much still part of this, we need to be a more integrated world. And actually what's important this year as well is who is here and who is not here.
This is a very good point.
But we will note it, because actually the first proper day of the World Economic Forum is tomorrow. We'll have continuing coverage here on Euronews. We'll be back at the same time tomorrow night. But please carry on the conversation on Facebook. Join us there now. But from us, for now, have a good evening.